Considering joining Sky Mobile? In this video, we've reviewed Sky Mobile to see if they're worth joining. We've looked at what's good and what's not so good about Sky Mobile to see if you should consider buying a SIM or a phone contract with this network. Before we begin, if you're looking for a new phone or a new SIM contract, you can use greensmartphones.com to find the best prices. Just come to the phone you want to buy, and you can find the cheapest deals from all of the major networks. And if you just want a SIM, click SIM only up here to find the cheapest data contracts. Let's get started. So let's start with what we like about Sky Mobile. The first is that they have a really good range of phones available and generally offer pretty competitive prices. If you look at Green Smartphones, you can see Sky has deals available on most iPhones, the latest Samsung flagships, Google's phones, and also even cheaper Samsungs like the A55. So what Sky does is they tend to discount their deals quite a lot when they don't have much data. It's not like 3 where you'll get 100 or maybe even 150 gigabytes by default on the cheapest plan for that phone. So if we look here at the S24, this is like all providers, and the lowest average monthly cost, which is the average of all the monthly payments plus the upfront cost over the life of the contract. It's cheapest with 3 on 150 gig. But if we look at Sky and just filter by their deals down here on the A55, you can see that their cheapest plans only come with 5 or maybe 10 gig of data. So if you're not a big data user and you want to save money, Sky can be worth looking at. They're not always the cheapest provider overall though. So if we look at the iPhone 15 here, 3 offers it for about £29 per month on average over the contract. Then if we filter to Sky Mobile, that goes up to £32 per month and you only get 5 gigabytes of data. And if we crank the data up a bit to closer to what 3 was offering, you can see this becomes extremely expensive compared to using 3. So Sky can be competitive, but they're not a great choice if you want a lot of data. However, one thing Sky does have over 3 is their lack of mid-contract price rises. As you can see on greensmartphones.com, 3 increases the monthly cost of most of their deals each April. Historically, they've linked this to inflation, so it's been pretty usual to see like a 10% price increase or something kind of crazy like that every year that you still have the phone. But Sky Mobile doesn't do this. So if you're comparing Sky to most other providers and Sky is a tiny bit more expensive, they're still definitely worth considering, especially if the contract lasts more than 2 years. So the third thing we like about Sky's contracts is their flexibility. If you click through to their deals, you'll see you get quite a lot of customization options. So because they're quite a big store, you get normally the full range of color and storage options for each phone. Unlike a lot of other networks, they allow you to swap the device every 24 months for free, and you can also choose to make this 12 months if you prefer. This is really good if you like to upgrade your phone every year, but you find it a bit of a hassle. You just need to send the phone back and recontract with Sky when you want to do this. It's really flexible. Also, when it comes to roaming, Sky Mobile is pretty good. At the moment, you just pay £2 and you get your whole allowance for 24 hours in 55 different countries. You can't roam for free, which is a bit of a downside. But on the plus side though, you get access to your whole allowance with this. With some providers like 3 for example, you're limited to just 12 gigabytes a month, even if you pay for their roaming pass. And compared to most other providers, £2 per day is pretty reasonable for some of these non-European destinations like America. Okay, so here are some of the downsides to Sky Mobile. The main one is their customer service could be a bit better. So every 2 years, Ofcom does a huge study of different mobile networks' customers and what they think about their provider. You can see the data here in Ofcom's report. So as you can see, Sky Mobile's overall customer satisfaction is 88%. This is slightly above the average of 87% here, but it's a lot lower than giffgaff and Tesco Mobile. Sky does beat EE, 3 and Vodafone here though, which is good, but they do kind of underperform in these other metrics. Satisfaction with Signal is a bit lower than average, and they have quite a high number of customers with a reason to complain, higher than EE, giffgaff, ID Mobile, O2 and Tesco. So if you really want good customer service and you don't mind paying a bit more, it might be better to choose a network like EE or Tesco Mobile. Tesco Mobile and also giffgaff have really good ratings here. So the second downside to Sky Mobile is the network they use. In the UK, there are actually only 4 mobile networks that have their own infrastructure, like their own 4G and 5G masts. That's EE, O2, 3 and Vodafone. So all of these other companies here lease network access from one of the big four networks. Sky Mobile leases access from the O2 network. The O2 network can be good in some areas, but it does have some downsides. So according to this report from Ookla, which is the company that runs speedtest.net, O2 has the slowest average download speed of each of the four major networks. They also have the slowest median upload speed. This report is mostly looking at 5G, but it's sort of similar on 4G as well. If you want the best possible overall coverage, EE is probably the best network to look at, but they can be quite expensive compared to O2 or networks that use the O2 network. To see if Sky offers good coverage where you live, go to Green Smartphones, click more details under a Sky Mobile deal, and then click through to the coverage checker. And put in your postcode up here, and you'll be able to see what their coverage looks like where you live. So we can see they have really good 4G coverage in this part of Oxford, but on 5G it kind of disappears unless you head sort of east, southeast from this location. Okay, so should you join Sky Mobile? We think Sky Mobile is definitely worth considering if they offer a cheap price on a phone or a SIM you're looking for. If you often roam beyond Europe to places like Australia, New Zealand, America or South Africa, and the O2 network has good coverage where you live, Sky Mobile is a great choice. They're also worth considering if you want to save money on a phone or a SIM, and you don't need much data. But there are downsides to this network. They're not the cheapest if you use a lot of data, and the O2 network can be a bit limited when it comes to 5G in some locations. If you're using Sky Mobile at the moment, let us know what they're like in the comments below. And remember, to find the cheapest prices on a phone or SIM plan on Sky Mobile or any other network, you can use greensmartphones.com. Just navigate to the phone you want to buy and use the filters over here to find deals that suit your needs. And if you already have a phone you want to use, just click SIM only up here to find the cheapest data contracts.